Welcome to episode 387 of In Touch with iOS, this show that talks about iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Apple TV, and Vision Pro, Mac, and related technologies. I'm your host, Dave Ginsburg, and we got a good panel here this week. Joining us is Jill McKinley. How you doing, Jill?
Doing great. I'm excited about upcoming purchases.
Me too, and I can't wait to start talking about it here in just a minute. So, and also joining us is Ben Rathick. How you doing, Ben?
I am doing fantastic. Also, possibly excited about an upcoming purchase.
Well, sorry to keep you waiting.
You didn't. We started already. So,
hi everyone.
We also joining us is Marty McKinley. How you doing, Marty McKinley? Marty Jencius. How you doing, Marty?
It's like it's a freaky Thursday. It's not a freaky Friday.
Oh, I don't know where that came from. How you doing, Marty?
It's me.
Yeah,
I'm doing okay. It's been a hell of a week.
Yeah, same here.
And so tonight's great. Tomorrow will be greater, and it's like Christmas in September.
It is. Every year it seems it's a Christmas holiday for us, heading off to the Apple Store or the porch. But also here is Eric Bolden. How you doing, Eric?
Great. It's a nice day today. The weather was good.
It was really nice.
Yeah.
It was really nice. And last but certainly not least, just hot off of finishing his podcast, The Context Machine, this Jeff Gamet. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing well. And Dave, your voice sounds especially luscious tonight.
Does it? Okay, that's good.
Whatever you did with your audio settings.
Everyone was saying I was going to see if I go too far off, then it's going to be bad. So I got some work to do on it, but we're doing good. But it's probably because I have this new chair I'm sitting in. If anybody didn't notice, this is
that makes sense.
This is a new gaming chair I've got. I was lucky enough to get as a gift for free from somebody at work. Says
nice.
His daughter didn't want it anymore, and I'm feeling upright. I'm feeling comfortable because the other chair I have was so big. You guys see me go leaning over all the time, and I had to put a pillow behind me. This has the lumbar support, and I'm kind of happy with this thing. Plus,
the chair you were using, I think we both could have sat in it together.
I know, because I've lost so much weight that because I got it big at the time, and I'm like swimming in it now. So I think it's going to be going bye-bye. And plus, I also, if anybody, I've been talking about a pre-show, I did get a new monitor I'm pretty excited about. This Dell U3425DE, really sharp monitor I'm looking at, curved. And it has a built-in KVM, which is awesome. So I have two Macs working on it, my Mac Mini and my MacBook Pro, and everything's happy. And then next up is as an upgrade into my office, but that's another story. But we've got lots of great things to talk about this week. As I said, as we kind of mentioned, the iPhones will be coming out. We're on the eve of the release of the iPhone 17 models, as well as the iPhone Air. Got plenty of things to talk about with iOS, and all the OSs have just come out, well as some other great things we can discuss. And let's go ahead and talk a little bit about some breaking news here. I wanted to hit. So the first iPhone Airs, iPhone 17s, and the iPhone 17 Pro orders are starting to arrive to customers. As we're recording this on Thursday night, it's already starting to show up in Australia and New Zealand. They're getting their phones. And the pre-orders that were out are going to be ready for them to be picking up here shortly, I would say, what time it is there. They'll be sharing photos. You're going to want to see first impressions, and we'll definitely be doing that for those of us getting new iPhones, which we'll talk in a bit. So it's kind of exciting. But I did notice that the pre-orders, the orders now are going to be pushed about a month now. If you didn't pre-order that on pre-order day, we were getting them tomorrow on September 19th, but now it's pushed out to almost October 20th at this point. So it's pushed out a way out. And a lot of other discussions with that. Any thoughts on where everybody thinks with these orders? I know we have many of you are waiting for one tomorrow. I'll be getting one tomorrow morning. We'll hit on that again a second. But any comments on that?
That always goes this way, right?
It does every year. This is
Yeah.
right around this time.
Every-
So a couple things you probably should know about the iPhone 17 is all the new phones, Apple Watches and AirPods were pre-ordered last week. Looks like even those devices are going to be a little bit pushed. They did say some store pickups were temporarily unavailable. Strangely enough, I was able to, when I ordered it, that was the only option I had to get it on launch day on the 19th of September. And they say that the new iPhones and the Apple Watches will be on display at the Apple stores on launch day, which is very cool. Tim Cook and other Apple executives, such as marketing chief Greg Josiak and the retail chief DeAndre O'Brien, typically make an appearance at the Fifth Avenue store in New York City on launch day, but it's unclear. I'm sure we'll be hearing about it. Who knows? Jimmy Fallon might go hook up with Tim Cook again. He did that, I think, last year. So we'll see.
And Jimmy Fallon. Oh no, Jimmy Fallon,
not the other guy.
He's like the only one left right now.
Yeah, he's the only Jimmy left now. We won't go into that whole story.
Best Jimmy, though.
Yeah. So who knows the way things are going? He probably won't go anywhere right now. Again, that's another story. Let's not go down that rat hole. One other thing that was noticed here, and I probably should save this let me save this for when we get into the phones here. So, but there was a couple of breaking news stories with that. But I still have some VisionOS discussion. Boy, it's been super, super quiet about anything discussed on VisionOS. I know we did Vision Profiles on Monday, and we were scrambling for some topics because it's been. It's very quiet.
And I couldn't find anything for a Pro Note this week. I do have one for tomorrow, but...
Good.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, VisionOS is, hey, how about those new Meta Ray-Bans with the screen?
Yeah. I've been seeing the Zuck, and there was a preview of that. Jill is laughing, right?
Yeah, and he nearly drowned me just there.
he almost did it.
I'm pretty sure...
I always did it to Eric.
Sure the way that conversation's going is, hey, how about those fancy new Meta Ray-Bans? We don't have anything cool to talk about on Vision Pro, but at least it works.
Yeah.
Now, I guess I do have to say, for everyone who didn't go for the beta over the last few weeks, they've all been really, kind of happy with all of the changes. Yeah. The personas are really nice. People have been really impressed with those changes, and they're kind of getting into it and getting used to it. So it was the software update that just came out was a big update. It's just that lots of people peaked ahead of time.
Yeah, let's hit on that a little bit. As we just said, VisionOS 26 is out. Marty and I have been beta testing it since it first came out, so we've got lots of time with it. You've got the widgets and persistence. The widgets are seemingly integrating within your space, allowing customization, frame thickness, color, and depth. And the persistence lets the widgets be windowed apps where you can they stay where you place them. Even if you restart the Apple Vision Pro, it remembers that, which is really cool. And then spatial scenes, of course, we've got the spatial scenes that are out there. As we talked a lot about, is the Jupiter scene, which is really cool. Safari's got some spatial browsing. It hides distractions, reveals spatial scenes as you scroll as well, automatically, as well as summaries and summaries, articles on compatible web pages. 3D models are embedded directly into a web page, so they can be viewed and interacted with in line. Like you said, Eric, the personas. I haven't really looked at my persona lately, but I know it's been it turned out pretty good. So I'm pretty excited about that. Did you want to touch a little more on personas, Eric?
You get full glasses now. It always kind of was weird to see just the front of your glasses, and if you turned your head, you kind of lost the other parts. Now you turn your head, everything is all there. The glasses aren't just floating in space.
Yeah.
they give you extra adjustments, so you can adjust your glasses up a little bit or down a little bit. So there's some fine tuning. Somebody spent a lot of time kind of tweaking things, and that's kind of been the case across all of VisionOS 26. Little tweaks here and there, little fine tuning bits that are greatly appreciated.
Yeah. How about you, Marty? Did you have anything else you want to add on personas?
Yeah, because for me, that product has always been a product to explore and play with. So the three of us do the betas and have a lot of fun with them. But the rest of the folks that don't do the betas and are waiting for that major update, it's like a brand new day for them on the device.
Yeah.
For me, it's like 1,000 little cuts over a long period of time. And, it finally finishes and rolls out. And it's like, oh, this is, well, okay. But there was an article, and I was trying to find it, that had a list of everything that was new in VisionOS 26. And it was like impressive just to read all of that in one place as it's been dripping out over the last 6 months or so.
Yeah, exactly. So one other article I wanted to hit on this, I found this to be a little interesting. Apple Vision Pro is finding a foothold in business market as consumer sales lag. This was in Digitimes. Apple's $3,499 Vision Pro mixed reality headset has been struggling, as we know, and retail and design use cases. Home improvement stores like Lowe's has been using it in stores across San Francisco Bay Area and Austin, Texas. Customers can use the headset to preview and view kitchen layouts in immersive 3D. Company plans to expand the program to 100 stores by the end of 2025. With a long-term goal of reaching all 400. Early feedback from the stores suggests that the device not only help customers make decisions faster, but also encourage them to buy higher-end products in some cases, and contractors are even using it to guide their clients' choices. I would say just we can hit that part of the article here, that it's in a position that experience alone for the customer is got to be just amazing, and that if anything, that's going to influence them even more. Like they said, buying higher end products and anything like that. I'm going to start you, Jeff. As far as an experience, I know you've tried it briefly before, but what do you think of this?
I'm not surprised this is happening. Because this is the kind of product that can fit well into vertical markets, and Apple has been apparently working with companies to make that happen.
Yep.
So, yeah, that I'm not surprised. Also, are consumer sales really lagging? And I'm not tossing that out to become an Apple apologist. I'm just genuinely curious. Do we know if Apple Vision Pro sales are lagging, or is this the message that's being presented by various media outlets because they don't see Vision Pro flying off the shelves? Apple had a plan for or projections for what they expected to see for sales. For all we know, they're actually hitting or even exceeding their sales goals.
Yeah.
We don't know. So I don't know if it's fair to say that Vision Pro sales are lagging, because we're not in a position to actually know, but they may be. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I would group it more with the Mac Studio or the Mac Pro, where Apple knows what its market is, and it's not the average consumer.
Yeah, which makes the whole business market make sense as well, because Apple does know how to work into that space with specific types of products. And we've already seen, like from the beginning, there were industries where the people in those spaces already knew how they wanted to use Vision Pro, and we've seen examples of that happening.
Marty?
Yeah.
Let's go to Marty real quick, Eric. Marty, what do you think on this?
I think the points that both Jeff and Ben made about, they hit their target. It's just they don't release what their target is very much, but they hit their target. And it really is a specialty device. If there are, quote, lagging sales, I don't know how someone would get that data to make that claim. But frankly, that the article that says Apple has hit its target with the Vision Pro is less exciting than, lagging Vision Pro sales. If there is lagging, in the next 6 months, we're supposed to get a version 1.2 or whatever of the hardware that's going to have some changes in it. So people might be holding off on purchasing in that way. And frankly, I think a lot of folks are interested in it from a consumer standpoint, but they're waiting for 2027 when the consumer model comes out, supposedly.
Right. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you look at the used market, that still is going pretty strong. The prices haven't dropped. It's not saturated. And if you think about it, the biggest OS update for Vision Pro just came out, and people are just experiencing it, except for those of us who, snuck a peek. And when you look at, Reddit groups and some of the other online groups, people are still, out there saying, well, is it time? Should I get it now? Does it do what I need it to do? And people are putting on are still impressed with what they're seeing. They're still getting useful features out of it. So, I'm not seeing any hint that the individual market is slowing down necessarily. It's not growing exponentially, but that wasn't really the goal. So,
Yep. Jill, you want to add anything before we wrap?
I guess the only thought I was thinking is that I'm sort of the person who would be the second, like not the first adopter of this, but the second adopter, stage of this. And so far, I haven't seen anything that says, Jill, buy this. And I'm waiting for that. I'm a nerd who loves Apple stuff, who has a little money in the bank, and I just don't see it. And so I'm waiting for it.
What would it be? And I'm not challenging you on that. I'm more curious about it.
I think that, like I said before, some of the experiences, there's some coming, so we've talked about some of the experiences we're getting. It just feels like, I know from the experiences on Oculus, they're great, and you do them. And I walked around the set of Picard, and that was fun, and that was an hour. I need something that says I'll be doing this a lot.
There's your sign, Jill.
I just got the sign. There it is. Right. But I'm just, just more things, I guess, to do. And exercise. I said that at the presentation, but I know that it's expensive to exercise in something like that. So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. All right.
Ben, did you have something?
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, yes, Jill, buy some Oakleys.
Yeah. Right. There you go. So let's go and move on. Beta this week, of course. There's no beta right now because all the OSs were released this past week. So we're going to hit on all of them and a little bit of limited highlights here to what's happening here. iOS 26. The biggest thing was liquid glass, and we're already hearing a lot of people making comments about liquid glass. I don't mind it as much. I don't know. I would love to hear what your guys' feeling is so far, because many of you were already beta testing it. But I don't mind it that much. But I'm hearing a lot of people, even got some Koga friends and such, who really like graphics and such, just doesn't like it. It isn't visually appealing to people. So Marty, what's your thoughts on the liquid glass? And that of course is across all of the OSs. So
yeah, I like it, and when I hear people griping about it, I kind of say, change is hard.
It is.
Change is hard. I mean, I used to say that to clients.
Yeah.
I say that to colleagues sometimes, and I often say it to students. Change is hard.
Yeah. Jeff, you just installed iOS 26, right? And I don't think you were running it, but did you have some experience?
I was running dev beta on an iPad mini.
Okay, good.
So my experience has been that when we first got liquid glass, it needed a lot of work.
It did.
And what we have with the official release is so much better than what we had at WWDC. That said, I still have reduced transparency enabled on my iPhone and iPad because I still think there are readability issues. However, with reduced transparency enabled, that addresses pretty much all of that. It's overall aesthetically okay. So we have a fresh new look. Under the hood, we get a unified interface, a more unified interface across all our devices, and that's good. Now, Apple, let's work on getting back to Apple human interface guidelines, and let's get some consistency across actual interface elements.
Okay.
That would be a nice place to go.
Yeah, I think so too. And you, with your experience, graphics and design, I mean, this is good to hear from you. Where you think Apple went with this, and like I think let's call out some of these people. Just what like Marty said, changed, and you got to deal with it. Let's face it.
Yeah, I mean, if you went to sit down and look at this operating system pixel by pixel,
yeah,
I can spend the rest of the night with you going over everything that's wrong.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
the number of people that are actually going to do that it's low.
Yeah,
and there are bigger things for us to worry about right now.
Oh, for sure. Ben, how was your experience with liquid glass? What did you think?
Slightly indifferent. I mean, it's all nice and well that we have a new look. Honestly, it was a much bigger deal for me back in iOS 7.
Yep.
But the operating itself doesn't really operate all that different than it did last year. And these days, I'm much more interested in how something functions than how it looks.
Okay. And Eric, where are your thoughts going on with liquid glass?
I was really kind of surprised. So it turns out on the Mac, I have to do reduced transparency because otherwise, for instance, in system settings, I can't read any of the text as it scrolls under the search window. It's just really distracting. But on the iPad, it's just fine. I don't have to do that. I turn on differentiate without color. I'm not sure what that does on the iPad. On the Mac, it when you toggle a button, you get a little white line to know that you toggled something. I really like that a lot. It doesn't seem to do that on the iPad. I don't know if they missed it or if they didn't think they needed it. I'm not really sure. So maybe there's some things that aren't quite done. But overall, I like the fact you can turn things off. And when you turn them off, it fixes the issue. And it's encouraging to me that in some places, you don't need to turn it off. It just seems to work. So maybe it's a display resolution or, something like that. So yeah, I guess it still needs some tweaks. They did a ton of work during the betas. They made a lot of progress. So I'm gonna for now say, yeah, I like the changes. I like that I can kind of tweak them and turn them off in some cases and leave them in others.
Okay. Jill, where's your thoughts been with liquid display, liquid glass?
I am not much of an aesthetics person, and so you probably have to ask my brother more than me because he's into that. I care. I almost I wish you would spend more time doing other things. But I know that if they didn't do liquid glass or they didn't do some big change of look, then half the world would say, oh, iPhone outdated, looks old, so you never win on that. And at first I didn't like it. It annoyed me. And now I think they solved some of the problems I had with it. And now I'm okay with it. So, yeah.
Okay. So I'm not going to go, I'm just going to briefly mention some of the things that are out there, but so like I said, talked about liquid glass. The lock screen has been rethought with the clock is embracing liquid glass in a big way. Home screen as well, Apple Intelligence, we've talked about that. But a couple things I want to hit is now messages. That in itself, I'm still trying to get used to it, honestly. I don't know about you guys, but even with the search bar down at the bottom and you got the liquid display coming up, when you're composing a message, it's a lot different. I'll just throw it out to the group. I won't go individually. What anything stand out messages that is having you a little bit of a struggle learning using it? Like we have muscle memory, remembering where to go on things.
Yeah, just that. I keep going the wrong place, looking in the wrong place, but yeah.
Okay, so but the other thing I don't know, I use Apple Mail a lot. I know others use different things here, but even when you're in the messages, just making sure you're clicking the right places, because it's got the liquid glass displays where here's if you want to reply or trash or go to a folder or compose, it's a lot different. Even when I just want to compose a message and you see it fading up to the corner, which I think it's kind of cool. I mean, but sometimes I forget where things are because then I'm doing this. The worst one is FaceTime, and I've gone to FaceTime and I'm talking to my wife, and then I usually want to disconnect right away when we're done. And I'm like, wait, where's the button? Oh, wait, it's down on the bottom right now, because it used to be on the top right. So I think that's where I think a lot of people are going to have some struggles, is to where a lot of things are, where we have places, apps that we use a lot. Mail is one of them. FaceTime is another. Even the Safari, the Safari browser, I've had some struggles here, even when you're going in to search stuff or closing the box. That's the thing too with the liquid display. The URL bar is hidden, it's kind of blended into it. I don't know if anybody noticed that in Safari. Even when you tap it, and then, remembering where to go when you want to bring up your tabs, and, so things like that, like you hit the 2 or the 3 dots, and then you have to pick where that is. Oh, all tabs. It's all at the bottom there on the right. So that's where I go to want to close all the tabs. So so I think that's a lot of what they've done. That's some pretty big redesign changes. So there's people right away that I know don't like changing them out. A few of my family members, I says, "Oh, you don't have to upgrade right now if you don't want to." But I'll say that there's some great things you'll get used to. So anybody want to add anything else on what they see in iOS 26? I mean, this carries over to the iPadOS 26 too, that they've had some challenges remembering where to go or thinking where you have to go.
And mobile Safari across the board.
Yeah, it's so different.
It's like for me, just to figure out how to get back to all of my tabs.
Yeah.
And the things you tap to do it, I can't even remember it now. I got to it once. I don't know if I'll ever get to it again, but finally I realized, I can just pinch in and it'll take me back to all my tabs. Fine, I've got that sorted.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Good tip.
Yeah.
Here I am trying to figure out how to do it. Oh my God, that was great. Make sure we note that in the show notes here.
Yeah. But I mean, overall, I think the changes that Apple's made to mobile Safari for iPhone, it is a much more difficult app to use than it was.
Yeah.
Ironically, I just switched back. Go ahead.
Ironically, I actually like it better.
Really? Why?
I mean, just everything's kind of more at the bottom for me. Just easier for me to get to.
Well, it was all at the bottom before, wasn't it? I don't know. Ben, this is how we have balance in nature. I don't like it. You do.
Yep.
All is well with the universe.
Yeah.
I switched back from Brave to Safari just this last week. And I think I forgot how Safari used to work. So it's been working out well for me, primarily because I don't remember the old way. But I still find myself every once in a while going to the wrong direction. And I'm looking forward to all of my friends for the next month going, Jill, I can't find anything anymore. And I'm going to hear about it.
Tech support going to be picking up.
Yeah.
What about photos?
Yeah. Photos. I was actually good to bring that up. Yeah. I was having some struggles actually looking like I'm going into photos like, where the heck is the picture I just took? I'm in my library. And then I go into selections and collections. I'm not a huge fan of collections, honestly. But I'm going into here and there it is. I mean, and then going into filters, how you filter them. Where's and you're in photos every day because you take a ton of photos. Where's your thoughts on that?
Well, I kept finding myself trying to scroll to get from one view to looking at like a category, but no, it's switching from library to collections. And then when you get to collections, then you can kind of find things, and it's lightly overwhelming. I've been using it for a while because I was using the beta, and I think kind of I like it now. I do have to say, search, I would not give up the new search. That has been phenomenally good. It has saved me so much effort and time trying to find stuff. That alone is worth the whole upgrade. But yes, I spend a lot of time scrolling and not being anywhere closer to what I'm looking for, or trying to find, videos as opposed to stills, as opposed to what, I'm still getting used to that.
Okay. Anything else you guys are struggling with so far? Yeah, we'll obviously be thinking about it as weeks progress here, as we've been using it for a few weeks and a month or so. And, but yeah, I think we hit upon some of the standout items.
Say, I had to turn off liquid glass and CarPlay because I use the brightly colored icons to find, this is the radar, this is YouTube, this is Telegram. And without it, I was spending too much time the screen and not at the road. So stay off the roads. But I turned it off because
a good thing to talk about CarPlay. Didn't even think about that. I've noticed the performance is improved. I mean, it seems, I've got in two vehicles, a Jeep and a Dodge Charger. And my Charger is an older model, so it's got the older Uconnect display. So it's not going to, I'm seeing all the liquid glass that's set up, but I'm not minding it that much. Same thing with the phone. You can change the view of how the phone comes up now, because remember, you would take the whole screen. Of course, I turned the whole screen back on. You have to figure out where to turn it back off again if you don't want that on there, and just have the bar. Because when you saw the bar come up for the first time, there's another thing that muscle memory of knowing how to answer the phone when there's someone who's calling you while you're driving. It's like, oh, all right, and then you pick it, and then you don't see anything. You just see the bar, and then you can just bring the full screen up. So things like that, I noticed with CarPlay that there's some very, very noticeable changes in that interface as well. So I think across the line here, we're going to start seeing here. We'll hit watchOS and tvOS real briefly here. That you're seeing, there's some pretty dramatic changes with iOS and the 26 OSs for sure. Anybody else had any other experiences with CarPlay other than Jill and I?
It seems a little more responsive. I agree with you on that. And I think a lot of this is just going to play out.
Yeah.
Apple's going to be tweaking these interfaces a little bit. To some degree, people won't even notice it, but I think you're going to see some of the things that we talk about.
Yeah. Not
that we're prognosticators of what Apple's going to do, but we'll start to see those things get fixed.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, the only other thing I'm having a struggle with is, my car doesn't have built-in Wi-Fi wireless CarPlay, so I have to buy the third-party adapters, like the Carlin and some of the other ones we've talked about before. And all of a sudden, it stopped working. It doesn't want to work. It would connect sometimes, and it would disconnect, and then it would connect. So I just gave up and just got a hot wired cord and just plugged the USB-C to USB-A in the phone, and I just gave up. Every time I would turn the car on, oh my crud, my phone's not connected at all. So I hate using the old school way of using the Uconnect to having to connect the phone directly and have that really crappy experience. So I'm back to plugging in wired for now. Let's try to figure out, because first I thought my system failed, but in the Jeep, it's a much newer vehicle, so that one works pretty well. And it has its own quirks. All of a sudden, the system does a momentary shutdown and come back, and I think in essence, a lot of vehicles probably have a bit of a struggle with CarPlay. So, in one way or another. So,
I do notice I have one problem with it, and this is the only problem I have, is that it doesn't work until I do something on my iPhone, like put it on a podcast. Like it says like it's thinking about CarPlay, it's thinking about it, and then I hit play on my podcast, and then all of a sudden CarPlay comes up. And it's kind of unfortunate because the first thing I do is close my garage door with CarPlay, and now I have to actually go to the phone, click on close garage door. And that actually kicks CarPlay in, but I'm like, I already closed the door. So anyway, that's the only weird thing I noticed.
Yeah, I've noticed some stalling on it too. And then I'll go and I'll check to see if the Bluetooth is connected, but that's what I do in my driveway for 30 seconds while I figure out what's going on. Or
I'm peeling down the road 35 miles an hour already. Yeah. It's gone. I'm gone.
But your garage door is closed.
So I have we have articles in the show notes under the beta this week that shows all the OSs. I'm not going to hit too much on iPad OS 26. I want to get more time with that maybe on next week's episode. But a lot of great things. Again, I've talked about with iPad OS that it has the multi-screen, snapping the screens, opening up in multi-windows is just absolutely amazing. So much easier than iPad OS 18 is. And I'm hoping my company gets the iPad switched over to that, because the folks that are using the iPads at work, that would be hugely beneficial, that they're looking at multiple documents all the time, and had to record a video, tell people, here, this is how you open up these windows from OneDrive and doing this and that. And yeah, it works, but a lot of people forget how to do that, because as we well know, the multi-screens in previous versions of iPad OS was not very user-friendly, for sure.
Say the least. So, all right. So real quickly, you want to talk a little bit about watchOS 26. We've got the sleep score, the workout buddy, the hypertension alerts. There's some great new hypertension alerts that are in with the health app, which is great. Of course, the liquid glass, I even had to get used to the way liquid glass looked on the Apple Watch. I don't know about you guys, but holy cow, I'm like looking at this, like even when you have to put the passcode in, like that's kind of cool.
Yeah. It's gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
From earlier versions of that passcode interface on the watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the funny thing is the Apple Watch passcode might be the best implementation of liquid glass there currently is.
I probably agree with that. But the hypertension alerts is going to be good with the blood pressure, chronic measurements and such like that. That's going to be great. If you do workouts, the workout buddy was a lot of enhancements. The sleep score, kind of like along the lines of I have a sleep number bed that does the measurements as well. Haven't gotten too deep into that yet, but again, we'll hit on these as we go here. The messages, so we're live translation in messages is using Apple Intelligence, automatically translates. We talked about that. I'll hit on the AirPods Pro real quick. And I just went through that and the prompts, I'm going to share those. A lot more new watch faces. I want to start exploring some more watch faces, and a lot of different layouts. So that they've done some pretty good stuff in watchOS that I think stands out pretty good here. And then tvOS. Actually, I'm pretty happy with tvOS. I'll be honest. I think a lot of the changes, it does have the liquid glass features in it, and I actually don't mind it as much on Apple TV. I think it looks really good. So I went through the update. The update went really well, and there wasn't too much of a problem as far as how the updates went. And again, like I said, when you bring it up, you got the image in the background. Then you have the icons with the liquid glass backgrounds to it. but it only is supported in newer hardware. So if you have like I have the 3rd generation Apple TV 4K, so the HD model you're not going to see it, and then the 1st gen 4K won't have it either, just based on the processing power. That isn't going to happen. But even the Apple TV app is looking really good, and there was some good interaction. You can. It seems that the sound connections are doing pretty well with it. So overall, I think it was a good overhaul. Anybody have any other experiences that I missed, maybe that they've tried?
I do, in fact.
Excellent.
Yeah. Okay. So because of the television I'm using, I don't have 4K. My TV is so good that I just can't bring myself to replace it and get a 4K TV.
Yeah.
So I'm storing an Apple TV HD. The icons are improved, even though you don't have liquid glass, but color rendering seems to be greatly improved.
Agree.
I was surprised. There's some shows that I watch, like comfort shows, where I've seen the same episodes so many times. I know exactly what I'm looking at. And so as an example, Star Wars Bad Batch. There's an episode that I watched yesterday where overall it's very dark colors. And watching it yesterday, I'm like, holy crap, look at the details that I'm seeing that were not visible before. And the only thing that changed is the OS version.
And the cataract surgery.
And the cataract surgery, whatever. Yeah.
Now that you say that, Jeff, I watched The Gilded Age, and there was one scene where they're in someone's house, and it's old and it's dark, and there's not lighting like we have nowadays. I couldn't see a thing in this, and I'm like, I can't see anybody, and I can't see anything in this room. And then suddenly I could start seeing it, and I thought maybe I just was not imagining this correctly. But I think you're right. I
think it's a thing. I was really surprised.
Yeah, I mean, even compared to other smart TV platforms and devices, Apple TV has always had an issue with darkness. Hopefully, they just finally fixed that after how many years?
Yeah.
They may very well have.
Yep. So, and then now with updates and such going on, day one, you're going to have to update iOS 26 when you get your iPhone 17 starting tomorrow. Because what happened was there was a bug. What a surprise. So they released just a new version of iOS 26. It is still 26.0. It's 23A345. That'll be available for the iPhone 17 Pro and the 17 Pro Max. Doesn't look like it's that 17 was affected or the error was affected. So there are some people who had the device as a review, so they got to try that. The new version released today actually is, like I said, limited to the 17 Pro, 17 Pro Max, but the 17 Air will have a launch day update too, apparently. So so all four of them will have upgrades there. So as far as that goes, so there you go. Already got an update off the bat. Well, and then of course they've already talked about, now it's coming soon, no surprise, 26.0.1 will likely is likely with a iPhone Air and iPhone 17 Pro fix. So it says that it's going to have a different build number, of course. Likely it's going to fix that camera bug that was on the new iPhone Air and the iPhone 17 Pro models. In its review, it was found that some of the photos that was taken with both those models at a concert contained small blacked out portions of and white, quote unquote, white squigglies. So it's unclear if
not the white squigglies.
I can't do those white squigglies. I can't. Yeah, squiggly.
I've been to plenty of concerts where I see white squigglies.
I think I have a show title too.
It's not a bug. That's not a bug. That's a feature.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Time to install another update on Marty.
Yeah. So anticipate some updates, and that's not surprising. We've seen that in past years with a lot of products. You're going to expect they're going to find stuff as much as the beta does it.
Didn't this happen last year with the iPhone 16?
I believe it did.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
You know, and it makes me think about my upgrade strategy because I'm probably going to wind up doing a clean install. Only because when I have done it in the past and they've got that little extra patch that they have to put in, it's locked up on me. And then I've had to go and wipe it and then start it all over again. So if we're facing this immediate update, I think I'll just do a clean install.
Yeah. So let's move on a little briefly. I'm going to talk about the the AirPods Pro 3. We'll hit on this a little more. Like I said, we can't talk about everything here. It's going to be here forever. So couple of photos I took, and I'll share them in the show notes that showed some of the things that you can do. See, again, already, I can't see my photos I just took. I know I did. Screenshots I did. So what it was is this is the setting up of the live translation. So you're basically going to be able to set that up right away, because as soon as I connected, it just said what's new in AirPods. And of course, you have the live translation with Apple Intelligence. Press and hold both AirPods to start the live translation to understand someone's in another language. It has pause media on sleep. AirPods can now detect when you fall asleep, automatically pausing media. That's kind of cool, especially if those who want to sleep. I don't want to sleep with my AirPods because they'll probably fall out and end up under the bed somewhere. So, but camera control, you can use the AirPods gestures with the camera on the iPhone to capture photos, record videos, and more. So you have that, and then I started setting up the live translation. So right now the supported languages is English UK. I guess you have to be translated to understand what the folks in England say, right?
Have you been to Scotland?
Yeah, it's pretty hardcore. You have French, German, Portuguese, and Spanish. So you can choose all of those languages, and what it does is it downloads those languages. So it's going to take up a little more space on your iPhone. So be aware of that. And then again, you can turn off that pause media when I fall asleep, so you have the option to do it or to say not now. So you have that as well. And then the last thing was charging the AirPods. The AirPods charging case now more clearly indicates the charging status, and the AirPods will remind you when it's time to charge them, which is great. So it actually shows the photo and the screenshot. Charged green, charging, and then charge case. So those are some pretty good improvements on that. So like I said, I'll put those screenshots in the show notes with that. So AirPods Pro 3 will be out tomorrow. We'll definitely hit that. So I'm gonna kind of skip anything we talk about with Mac this week because there's a lot to talk about here. Tahoe, macOS Tahoe is out, and there's been some good reaction to it. Again, the liquid glass, a lot of struggle with using that. So, and just the compatibility with what models are available. So with the MacBook Air 2020 and later, the MacBook Pro 2020 and later, the exception, the 2019 16-inch MacBook Pro, the last of the Intel Macs. The Mac Mini, which is 2020 and later. iMac is 2020 and later. The iMac Pro 2017 is still supported. Can you believe that? Intel. And then the Mac Pro, of course, that's 2019. That's Intel. As well as the Mac Studio. That's 2022 and later. If you're on the list, you're good to go. And again, we'll hit on some of the other features in a later episode when it comes to what's going on with Mac OS. One thing I will talk about if... Marty, do you have the M3 Mac Studio? Or you have
I do.
Okay, so this
I have.
This is the M3 Ultra. The Mac Studio owners are reporting problems with installing Mac OS Tahoe. Apparently, there's some issues where it's not able to install. This was in Tom's guide that there was a bit of a challenge here. that there were some issues with from many instances. It's just everything from it was going along nicely, but then when the Mac reboots, when it's requiring to update macOS, it just launches Sequoia and not Tahoe. So they're still looking at that. There isn't anything yet that Apple has acknowledged or what they're doing with this, but be aware of that if you have the M3 Ultra. I know, did you already were you able to update yours, Marty?
Yeah, I upgraded. I had a couple of weird things that happened this week with upgrades. Early on, the same day that the upgrades came out, it was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to upgrade this right away. And then a day or two later, I had to upgrade it again. And from what I understand, that was shifting me from the developer beta that I was running to the full beta.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't any problems with it. I click it, go away, get a cup of coffee, and come back, and it's there.
Okay.
Anecdotally, I have heard some people are having real problems installing macOS Big Lake on Mac Pros.
Oh, Jeff, you always come up with the new names.
Both
if Apple gave us names we could actually remember, names that made sense, like maybe just call it macOS 26 and be done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like this one because I've actually been to Tahoe, so now I'm like, okay, well, Tahoe.
Yeah, Jeff, personally, I prefer macOS Casino on the Lake.
How about the Donner
totally
Party?
Works too.
Yeah,
macOS Donner Party.
Yeah, it's really close to Lake Tahoe, so that's why I
it's a slimmed down version of the operating system.
No.
Yeah.
It's the all vegan version of
the all vegan version.
Yeah. There's a picnic table there, by the way. Anyway.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
That's right. Oh my gosh.
The jokes just write themselves on.
They do.
Who did this?
So let's one more topic I want to hit on real quick before we hit on what we ordered. How to get Apple's hot new iPhone color without buying an iPhone Pro. These case makers are already embracing that inner orange. Marty, I know you aren't going to like this. The cosmic orange is not your thing. But surprising, this hot new color, not the blue or the black or the space gray, is cosmic orange. Apple showed us that really is the new black by dropping its stunningly bright safety orange for its new flagship phones, and appears to have been a hit on hands because it's selling out instantly. So it's already out of stock. Looks like it is. They already, like I said, it's shipped to mid-October at this point. So somebody's liking it. So
they just need to mix that. They just need to make another batch of aluminum with that Cheeto powder in it.
Cheeto powder. Yeah. Pumpkin orange.
Pumpkin spice.
Unfortunately, Apple limits the color to the Pro. So you have to get the Pro. It's not for this iPhone 17. But they are making some cases out there that have that orange color. So if you so want it to be orange, there is some case. There's a Beats iPhone 17 rugged case, and the MagSafe and camera control that are in a tangy Sierra orange. There we go. You got some great adjectives here describing a lot of this color. Rhino Shield. The Rhino Shield don't they do like floors? Comes close with its orange circle pattern, a case for iPhone 17, but it's semi-transparent polyester compound dulls the effect a bit. So apparently other case makers being very creative about this, but what can I tell you, Marty? It's selling. I bought one.
I showed the color to my wife, and she said, "Oh," and I said I was going to, if I had an opportunity, I'd say this on the show. She goes, "Oh, yeah, I can see people being interested in that color." What it reminds me of is the kind of phones that, like, the housewives on Real Housewives, that would be the color phone that they'd have, but it would be the New York housewives, because not the real trashy housewives.
Okay,
so consider yourself in good company.
All right.
Real Housewives of Apple.
Yeah.
I'm glad I have no idea what Marty's talking about.
Yeah. Any other comments about Orange?
Well, I have to admit that I started looking at Orange and I started thinking about Eric said, and I found this really cool translucent case that has monarch butterflies on it, and the orange looks fantastic with it.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. The only thought I had was having the two colors be orange and blue is a rather good choice for those of us in the Chicago sphere of influence.
This is true.
You might get beat up for that, so I wouldn't do it here.
Yes. It does not come in green and gold.
Yeah. But
I would buy green.
Anything else on this? All right. One other story I wanted to talk to you about real quick is Apple explains why your iPhone may be drain faster after upgrading to iOS 26. And I have actually noticed this on my iPhone 16 Pro Max that all of a sudden the battery's not been lasting as long as it used to. It runs smoothly at first, but then the battery life is reduced. It's a short-term issue, of course, they say that. So, the things with the liquid glass and all the other things that it does. But Apple is aware of the issue and did post a support document explaining what is happening. And that's pretty typical what Apple does when you get new software, new OS installed on a phone for the first time, that has to do a memory check, right? It has to remember how the software works, and then the software will adjust accordingly. So for those folks who've already upgraded to iOS 26 and you're experiencing that is why you're going to expect something like this. Anybody have any battery issues on their iPhones since they've upgraded?
Well, my battery already sucked.
Yeah,
However,
but you're on an iPhone 12, right?
I'm still on a 12 Pro.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like it's time to change. So hey, anyone want to donate to my cause? No, but no, really, the whole thing with draining faster. This happens every year. We hear people complain about it every year. I installed the new update, and now my iPhone battery life tanked. And then after a week or so, it's back to normal. This is just a thing as all of that digital dust settles.
Yes. Not only do things have to recalibrate, you're also downloading a metric crap ton of app updates.
Right.
Yeah, and there's a lot of re-indexing that happens with everything that's on your phone, and there's a lot going on behind the scenes.
And this is typical every year when the new OS has come out. Yeah.
Yeah.
When it's time to change, it's time to change. So says the Brady Bunch.
I got that reference.
I got it right away.
And Motley Crue.
It's time to change.
Worth showing up just for that.
Just for that. Anybody else want to add anything on the battery?
Oh, my battery stunk already. It's going to be gone.
All right. So I want to just kind of review what everybody bought this week. I'll do some show and tell. I've already got the new MagSafe charger. That's the $39 1 meter that's supposed to charge faster. I've got that. I did get the 40 to 60 watt dynamic power adapter. There you go, right there. And this one supposedly is supposed to charge faster. Then I was reading. I have a link in the show notes here about it. That I guess it once it gets really warm, it starts reducing in wattage, because it apparently has a smart sensor inside the adapter that allows it to be able to reduce in charging if it's getting too warm. So I'm interesting to see how this guy works when it comes to that. And then I have I did get the iPhone clear case. That's the iPhone 17 Pro Max clear case. I'm braving it this time. I don't usually buy Apple cases. Then of course you got to get up a Spygin, because this one was only like $15.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have two different cases, and I went with clear because I want to show off my orange. So when I see you next, Marty, I'm gonna just go, look at this. Isn't this pretty?
I will see you coming a mile away
So
and make diversive action or make diversion. Make a diversion.
As we're recording, I just got my text notification that one or more of your items on your order are set to be picked up at the Apple Store. So I'm set to go.
Nice.
8:45 a.m. is the time to come to go get my phone just before the Mac show. If it was later, I could be doing a live remote like I did last time there. So that's some of the stuff that I've got. I got an iPhone 17 Pro Max. I have an Apple Watch 11. I went all out this year apparently. I've got the AirPods Pro coming as well. So we got a large array of things that I'm getting. So, Jeff, you are still deciding on what you want, right?
Yeah, I have not made any purchases yet, and I do want to touch phones in the store.
Sure.
But I think it's a safe bet that I will end up with an iPhone 17 Pro.
There you go.
And it's a matter of what color I get, which may very well be based on what's in stock when I actually do make a purchase.
Mm-hmm.
I would prefer not silver, but we'll see. Maybe when I do get my phone, I'll get orange, and I'll call it the Marty Jencius special.
Okay. There you go. Eric, what did you finally decide? Are you still deciding?
I'm still deciding. I have a case for a 17 Pro Max. But it could be anything. So I'll wait. And I mean, for the last couple of years, I haven't pre-ordered, and I don't go in the first day except to maybe look at lines. I wait for Saturday or Sunday, and I see what models show up, and then I get something.
Okay.
And that's worked out pretty well, and it's less of a wait. There's a lot of chance involved, but
true.
We'll see.
Eric, your strategy is great. And when I have done launch day purchases in the past, when Apple changed their whole process many years ago, I started doing the thing where I would either order for in-store pickup because the likelihood of having something on launch day was higher, or show up on launch day in the morning because there's always some inventory that's been set aside for in-store purchases. And I've had much better luck getting what I want, even while other people are pushed out 6 weeks waiting for their thing.
Yep. Jill, what have you decided you're going to purchase this time around?
Well, as I mentioned before, my account got taken over by a business account. But that also means that we got to go into the Verizon store at 8:00 on a named appointment because we are business people. And so I will go and we'll pick up a phone. And like I said, then we can bring it back to the store without any of this shipping thing, which I'm not doing again. I am going to buy a 17 Pro, and it'll either be blue or orange, depending on what I see at that store. So we'll see. It's probably going to be blue. I'm going to chicken out. I know I will. The big question in my mind is I have a Watch 8 that's battery is just dead. And I have the Ultra 1, which I like. But like I said, I like falling off mountains in remote places. And so I really feel that having the Ultra 3 would be potentially life-saving. But my friends are like, well, how often does this happen? And I'm like, I don't know, but I mean, it happens once and you're kind of toast.
Yeah,
so
all it takes is once.
All it takes is once. So I don't know.
Take both those watches in with you.
That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try to trade in both watches and see, what it will cost to get into the Ultra 3. And then I think that is probably something I'm going to do because, like I said, I just go places and I'm by myself too. Most of the times when I go hiking in these remote places, I'm alone, and that kind of freaks me out a bit. So that's what I'm going to do.
Ben, what's going to be in your bank account? I said,
look, the blue Series 7 has reached retirement.
Yeah.
The problem is both the Series 11 and the Ultra 3 are so intriguing for completely different reasons. The Series 11 is just so thin and light and with a much larger screen compared to the older phones. Yet the Ultra 3 is the Apple Watch equivalent to a tank that can survive the fall off those driftless mountain cliffs.
Right.
It might kind of, as other people allude to, it might depend on what the T-Mobile store has in stock tomorrow.
Sure. Hopefully they'll have a good amount. And Marty, I know you have a long list of things you're getting.
I'm just glad Apple does not have like 3 weeks between when you order it and when you can get it. Otherwise, I would probably wind up getting more stuff. I have the AirPods 3 coming because I'm real curious about that. And
me too.
All of this stuff will be available for me tomorrow. I only have to go to the store for one item.
Okay.
And remarkably, that was the thing that I ordered just like 4 or 5 days ago. So I have, I'm fascinated with the form factor. I have 2 phones now. So I went and got a iPhone Air. It's bigger than what I imagined it to be. And I say that by the case, because I have ordered some clear cases with it because I am not afraid of the colors that I have. And then I was like, well, I'm going to get a better return on investment if I get rid of the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And so I upgraded to a 17 Pro Max blue, Cubby's blue.
Right.
And stayed away from that orange. The buyer's remorse orange is what I'm going to call it. Because I've already seen some unboxings where the person like takes it out and goes, "Oh, this is really orange." And so anyway, everybody was getting into that. So those 2 phones. Then I went ahead and upgraded to an 11 on the watch. And then last week, you guys were talking so much about the damn Ultra that I turned around and ordered an Ultra in black, Ultra 3. And again, I look at what I get for return on investment, and it's sort of like I might as well cash this in now instead of cashing it in 2 years from now and getting nothing for it. So I kind of made those decisions, shuffled around some money that I had, and did not have to dip into the slush fund that I have for a new Vision Pro if one comes out. So it's going to be a busy. Oh, and then I got the iPhone purse,
the
strap, and a cup.
$60
for the
strap.
Air, I got a yeah. For the Air, I got a couple of cases that you can attach the strap to.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
And if you wait 2 weeks, it's
like-
going to be $10 knockoff on Amazon.
Oh yeah.
Are you going to wear it like that? I mean, often?
Like a
When are you
purse.
gonna
Like a
wear it?
tricorder?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the iPhone tricorder.
I don't know. My only
I
regret is
think
I
I
have
just
this
sold
big
one to
meeting.
Eric.
I have this big meeting tomorrow where we're going to have all these new students in, and I won't have my iPhone purse with me.
Yes.
Probably conferences. When I do conferences, instead it'll gives me my free hand free. I don't have to stuff something in my pocket. I don't think I'll wear it over the shoulder. I think I'll just wear it as a lanyard sort of attachment for it.
Yep.
But we'll see.
All right. Well, with that was a lot of stuff we talked about. If you got something else finished, Jeff, before I wrap.
You're welcome, Eric.
Captain, I seem to be
Eric's-
scanning some nuclear vessels.
I think we've just switched Eric over to a iPhone Air so he can have a tricorder around his neck.
And you can scan for life signs.
Yeah.
I'm so much trouble.
Or it's a nerd detector, whatever way you want.
Oh my gosh. So
The Apple Merce.
Before we wrap up, and let's make sure I say hi to everybody in the YouTube chat at youtube.com/In Touch with iOS. Witherbuckets joins us, and Web Bixby, great to see you. Cletus was in the chat. Brian F. joined us briefly to pop in to say hello. And we had a lot of others. So thanks for joining us in that live chat. That's youtube.com/In Touch with iOS. We really appreciate it and love having you interact with us with all the great comments. And with that, let's go ahead and wrap up. That's a wrap for this week. Please send your comments, questions, suggestions to our email address, which is feedback@intouchwithios.com. You can follow us on Blue Sky and Mastodon at In Touch with iOS. Support the show. Buy me a coffee at intouchwithios.com/coffee. We would really appreciate it. You can become a patron of the show by going to patreon.com/intouchwithios. We have 2 tiers to support the show. We'd really appreciate it. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe when so you're notified when we are live streaming, which is Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, on our YouTube channel. Again, it's youtube.com/intouchwithios, where you can watch the current and past live streams as well as listen to past shows. We're also streaming on Facebook and LinkedIn and sometimes even Twitch. So, and then visit In Touch with iOS magazine on Flipboard, where many of the articles we discuss are flipped into that magazine. The link is in our show notes. You can subscribe to our show in your favorite podcatcher, including Pocket Casts, Overcast, Apple Podcasts, and many others. But better yet, just go to our website, intouchwithios.com, where all the links to all the ways to listen to us are there. We use Ecamm Live for our production of the show, and we thanks Ecamm for having a great product. And I am Dave Ginsburg, and you can find me on Blue Sky and Mastodon at DaveG65. And I'm going to reverse the order here. So, Jeff Gamet, thanks always for being here. Glad you made it. And where can people find you?
Well, thanks for letting me join in, even though I was a couple minutes late. People can find me on the social medias as Jay Gamet. I'm most active right now on Mastodon and Blue Sky and PixelFed. Then for shows, Tuesdays on Chuck Joyner's Mac Voices Live, here on Thursdays with you, Dave, and on the British Tech Network, The Big Show and The Mac Show. Also, Brian Chaffin and I record The Context Machine, which is why it's a couple minutes late today. And Patrice Brendamore and I record Retro Rewatch.
Excellent. Thank you, Jeff. Eric Bolden, thank you for being here. Always a pleasure having you. Where can people find you?
Great to be here. I can be found on Mastodon at eabolden@mas.to. Otherwise, on Mondays on Vision Profiles, Tuesdays on Mac Voices, and, of course, Thursdays on In Touch with iOS. So I get to cover all my OSs throughout the week.
Absolutely. Marty Jencius, as always, a pleasure having you. Where can people find you? It'll be at the Apple Store probably tomorrow.
Yeah, for a little bit. I'm taking a secret chip up there to pick some. I think I'm picking up the Ultra 3. That's the one thing I have to pick up in store. You can find me at thepodtalk.net is the website that connects to all the different projects I do. Most formerly Vision Profiles with Eric and Dave. We do that on Monday nights live stream at 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Central. And Vision Pro, we also have Vision Pro notes. And so I'll be producing one of those for tomorrow morning about the new R2 chip that they're going to be putting in the next. And I'm waiting for the R2D2 chip. But the new R2 chip that they'll be putting in future models and the implications of that. Again, everything here on Thursday nights with In Touch with iOS, Tuesdays with Chuck and Mac Voices, and then occasionally a Friday morning with the Mac Show. So look for the stuff that I do on thepodtalk.net, and it's Jencius, Jencius, at mastodon.social and also on Blue Sky.
Excellent. Thanks, Marty. Ben Rathick, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Where can people find you?
Well, you can find me at Ben Rathick on your social media of choice. You can find my writings and ravings at my currently under reconstruction, writhetech.com. You can also find me on such shows as Mac Voices Live with Chuck Joyner and the Big N Mac Show, interim hosted by some Jeff Gamet guy over on the British Tech Network.
Excellent. And last but certainly not least, it's a pleasure having you, Jill McKinley, on the show. Where can people find you?
You can find me on YouTube and in podcasts. My podcasts are all under Jill from the North Woods. Start with Small Steps, and Buzz, Blossom, and Squeak are my two main podcasts. And you can find me on YouTube too. They're all videos or podcasts each.
All right. And thanks to everybody again for listening, watching, being with us on the show. We really enjoy doing it. And then we'll be back again next week. But until then, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we'll talk again soon.